Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the Meriwether County Board of Commissioners, July 27, 2021, 6 p.m. regular meeting. I'll call this meeting to order. If you will, please stand for the invocation and remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance.
If you would, I just ask you to bow with me for a few moments. Lord, we just come this night thanking you for the much that you've done for us as your children, and Lord, especially what you've done for us collectively here in Meriwether County. Father, as we go forward, we just pray for that good gift, that wisdom that can only come from above, in helping us to make the decisions and do that which is right. And Lord, as always, just please forgive us where we fail you. In Christ Jesus' name, amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
If you will, please be seated. If you have any electronic devices, if you'll silence those for the remainder of the meeting. And also, we have a little bit fuller room than usual, so if we can keep the talking to a minimum during the meeting, that would be great so we can hear each other. We'll move to item number 2, to adopt the agenda. There are a couple of changes under public hearing. Item number 2, case number 2020-21, and item number 3, case number 21-2021, need to be removed, and they will be on the August 24th, 2021 meeting. Also, under new business, item number 5 needs to be changed to item number 4. Any addition? Okay. Hearing none, do I have a motion to adopt the agenda? Have a motion, do I have a second?
Second.
Motion and a second, all in favor? Motion carries. Next item are the minutes. Item number 1, July 14th, 2021, 9 a.m. regular meeting. There is one change under the minutes. It needs to read, it actually reads Meriwether Development Authority about the fireworks. It needs to be Manchester Development Authority. Are there any other changes?
It does.
Hearing none, do I have a motion to accept?
So moved.
Have a motion, do I have a second?
Second.
Motion and a second, all in favor? Motion carries. Item number 2, July 21st, 2021, 4 p.m. work session. Are there any changes? Hearing none, do I have a motion to accept?
Motion to accept.
Have a motion, do I have a second?
Second.
Motion and a second, all in favor? Motion carries. Item number 4, municipal comments. I don't see anyone on there. All right, I don't see. Next item is constitutional officers. Don't see any. Next item, department heads. And item number 7, public hearing. Item number 1, update of the zoning map. Mr. Gay, Butch, whoever.
Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, this is Butch at his office, and Jody have done a great job on this map. Here, I guess it was last year now, we reworked all of our zoning ordinances and the various codes. And one of the things that we needed to update was the zoning map to complement what we had done and to correctly state it. Butch and Jody can come up. This is the old map here. It's over here on this easel. You can see there's the new map there. This map's been in existence for a long time, and it really needed to be updated, and that's what they have gone through. A lot of work on it. Reflects the various zoning categories. Probably we're going to be expanding at some point the commercial categories, so we'll probably have to come back and look at that again. But this is actually the official zoning map for the county when it's approved by the board. It's been properly advertised, and we're here tonight, of course, for the public hearing. And if anyone wants to speak in favor or against, I think other than that, the codes have already been and the ordinances have already been properly advertised and adopted, and this goes in conjunction with those.
I didn't go into public hearing,
Okay.
so I need to stop and go back into it, don't I?
Yes, we
Do
do.
I have a motion to go into public hearing? I
So
forgot.
moved.
Have a motion. Do I have a second? All in favor? Sorry, y'all.
Disregard everything you just said.
We just need to see if anybody wants to speak either for or against. Michael, is there anything else we need to do that? So, and again, this is just a lot of work went into this, and I appreciate what all that all.
I was just happy to see Miss Johnson. I forgot all about doing it.
Ms. Johnson used to come and see us every meeting. We hadn't seen her in a while.
I know. So any commissioners have any comments?
I do not.
Is there anyone in the public who would like to speak on this? Hearing none, do I have a motion to go out of public hearing?
So moved.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor? Motion carries. We are out at 6:05. So hearing the recommendations, do I have a motion to accept the zoning map as presented?
I make a motion, we accept as presented.
Have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor? Motion carries.
Thank you. We have the original, what forget.
Do I need to sign? We all need to sign it.
Y'all all need to sign it. Get it tested.
This one and that one over there are the two originals.
The two originals.
Okay.
Good deal.
So we have to sign that, Big Clay? Okay.
Got a place on the block for each other.
All right. We'll get to it.
Oh, man.
Thank you.
All right, next item, item number 8, unfinished business. Item number 1, appointment to the Zoning Board of Appeals to fill an unexpired term that will end January 5th, 2022. Does anyone have anyone?
Maybe we need to pay in the audience.
Is there anyone in the audience who would like to volunteer? They rarely ever meet, just for educational purposes. They haven't met in how many years?
Hadn't met since I've been here 6.
Yeah, it's rare that they do. It's on a very special occasion that we need that board. So we'll be bringing it back up at our next meeting. If you guys are interested or know someone that may be, put the word out. We can educate them. They can call our offices and we'll be glad to help. I keep looking at you. So you,
I know. Go, sorry.
If anybody's in, really, we're gonna be information.
you interested? Call Theron and talk to him about it. We'll put it on our next meeting.
Sure.
We'll talk about it. I'm having surgery.
But they don't need, are they?
No, we
That'll
have-
be the first meeting, wait and see.
Yeah, that's right. But call me back by
All right. So do I have a motion to table?
Motion to table.
Have a motion. Do I have a second? Motion and a second. All in favor? Motion carries. But do call him. Thank you.
3. I'm gonna call him if you do.
You go call him. All right. Item number 2, under unfinished business, Michael Robertson, Mars program. Michael, come on up.
Hey, thank
Good.
Number one, thank y'all for having me. I brought a kind of introduction to what we're doing with the Mars program. Word for word first. It's an outreach program that we had since 2017, and its objectives, as you can see, is giving students in the county an opportunity for higher education, whether it's through college, armed services, or technical programs. Partners were with the Greenville Middle High School, the Manchester Middle School, and the Manchester High School. And what the guidelines for this program is going to be, where students at that time, and you're going to see the targeted group that we were talking about. That's why I specifically said at that time, must meet requirements for entering either service to be eligible for the test taking. Okay, and I'm going to speak about the test taking in a minute. Some of the qualifications are they must have a 3.0 GPA, applied to with a receipt for colleges, technical, state, or university, or the 9th to 10th graders must have taken the ASVAB. And this group is targeted from 7th to 10th graders. Reason our program is targeting 7th and 10th graders because in the public school system here in Meriwether County, 11th and 12th graders are given waivers for SAT, ACT programs. Okay, 7th and 10th graders are not. And having the 7th through 8th or 10th graders taking these tests is kind of, for instance, when those grade levels enter the high school, enter 9th grade, they're excited, not knowing what's expected of them or why it's expected of them, okay? So by the time they reach the 11th grade, that 10th and the 9th grade, what we have to show studies of, and I have documents proving that, what we have showed studies of that they've forgotten the lessons or the curriculums that they learned from ninth and 10th grade. So when it's time to take the SAT in 11th grade, they've forgotten a lot of it, especially the underprivileged or underserved kids. So what we do every year, meeting those guidelines, kids are given the test one time, and we're looking at 10 kids from Manchester, from those groups from Greenville, Middle, Manchester High, and Manchester Middle School.
10 total or 10 each?
Total. 10 total to taking the test. And what we've learned over the years, once they've taken these tests, they know what's expected of them prior to going into into high school. So with that mindset, number one, it's two things that's looked upon. I mean, that's asked for the kids to have passed prior to entering any one of those programs. I'm gonna start with the armed services first. We have a stateside service scholarship, which takes care of everything. These students from Air Force, Marines, Army, and we're working with the the battalion that's in LaGrange, Georgia, right there on the base in LaGrange, Georgia. And I got the information for you also, so you can check it. ASFAB, to take the ASFAB, and the kids that want to go to college through the armed services, which is reserved, they pay for them. They give, my daughter is in it, so I'm familiar with the program. They take care of them monthly. Of course, they have to serve the services one weekend out of the month and 2 weeks out of the year, and take care of their college programs. On top of that, it's giving them money to go to school for. Going to a college or a university, having these criteria, which is 3.0 is the minimum, and having taken the SAT or ACT program, in our program, 2 out of 5 students passed and have went on to college, starting from the 7th grade, taking that program. We picked it up from a Stanford when we visit Stanford, Cal Berkeley. What we identified was 9 and 10-year-olds in the line taking the test. And that philosophy that they use to take that test is the reason why you're here today. Those 9 and 10-year-olds, which are mostly Asian descent, are blown out of the test takings are blown out of the water because of the multiple times that they're taking it. So having a repetitive and consistent time of taking these tests have shown that these kids do thrive and have better test taken by the time they get to the 12th grade. Okay, budget. Here's the budget for the ACT, as you see at the bottom. And I'm working with the school board, Mr. Brown, as far as with transportation. I'm also a coach at the middle school, so this was part of the curriculum or the program that I introduced prior to taking the job as the middle school coach. In order for the kids, yeah, athletic is an important part, a role of having character, building character, and things like that. But they also must have the grades to do this. So as you look operating expenses, you see $850. $850 represents the $85 that it costs to take the ACT, and it's 10 students. And at the top where you see at the dates, those are the dates that these tests are taken now. I did 10 as being the max. Every month you won't get 10 students in the program. The minimum you'll get at least would be 4, but I put it at 10 just in case, because there have been times where we got 11. So you see December, February, April, June, and July. And December 11th, 2021 is the reason why we put it out that far, because that's when the first report card comes out. So in order for those guidelines to be met with the 3.0 and all those other criteria, the first report card has to come out. And they have to be applied to 4 university, or the 9th and 10th graders have to be taking the ASFAB tests in order to get the stipend to take the ACT or the SAT program. Now you move down, you'll see where it says, right there it says references, but when you space it out, it's gonna say traveling. Working with the department, Meriwether County Department of Transportation, going back and forth is $1.50 round trip for a mile. And from here to, and the college is West Georgia Technical College is where they would be taking the test at. From here to that, you will have a total of, I think I did 50 miles from the square, from Greenville, or from Manchester to where they meet at West Georgia. And then the total is 75. Reason why I said 75, because that's half the cost. Our program would take on the other half of the cost. And we will have documents showing that as far as with transparency. Now, and then you go down to food and beverage. We're asking out of the 10 kids to provide a stipend of $10 to eat after they take the test. The test is a 4-hour test. After they take the test, to feed them on their way back to their place of destination. Let me get mine. That price is not going to come up. Go to the next one also. I'm sorry. At the bottom, you see SAT at the bottom. Go down. Take your arrow. Yeah, there you go. Okay. Well, it doesn't come up on mine either. Well, it's for 250. I'm going to add these up. I'm sorry. If anybody get to it before me, let me know. They're adding 420375.
And that was for the ASVAB?
This is for the ACT and the SAT. The ASVAB is a free. They
Okay.
take that for free. 250 plus 375 plus 350. Okay, to take the SACT, the budget for that one would be $4,975. And for the SAT, it would be 325. Plus 3. Plus
3950.
3950, correct. To the SAT. And what this program does is give the kids a peace of mind, understanding as they're going through college, through high school, they're junior, we're coming from high school, after they coming from middle school, they've already completed one task. They're half of the task to going to college or any of those programs that they're taking or want to seek in the future. And the other half will be met, of course, when they get to the 12th grade year, having that GPA to finish it off. And this goes for disability challenged kids as well. Any questions?
I actually have one. How do you determine who is chosen for the program if you have multiple people apply and there's 10 chosen? I know the standards, but outside, if everybody meets the standards, if you have 40 people
Right.
that meet those, how do you choose?
That's why we got the different dates. Like for instance, if you have 40 people, you have 1, 2, 3, 4 dates up there.
So if all 40 meet that, then they fit with it
They will
sometime?
fit within that
Okay.
category. Yes, sir.
The numbers would go up, right?
Come again.
The numbers would go up.
The numbers.
Yeah, the cost, take it to 10.
No. That's it.
10 per month is what
10
that
per
cost
month.
is.
Yeah, it don't go over 10.
So let me ask you this, since it's been in effect since 2017, how's it been funded up until this point?
What we've done, we've started with three kids. How we funded with 3 kids, and I think that budget came up to be
A third or whatever those
we
are?
got a third of that. Yeah.
Does the school board contribute anything?
Well, just working with Mr. Brown, that, and also after they taken the test, their criteria set up different. Like I said, when I met with them, after they taken the test, they need to know what they need to work on. Like for instance, if they haven't met the criteria to pass the SAT, to go to the college, whatever they need help with, that's where the school board step in with the counselors and help them practice with those areas that they need work in. And then next year, if they meet those criteria, they're able to take it again.
So if they fail it, then next year you're gonna come back and ask for more money for the same kid?
Come again?
If they fail it, you're gonna come back next year and ask for more money on the
Maybe.
same kid?
Depending.
They need to study hard.
Yeah. It's gonna be pushed there. Yeah.
Any other commissioners have any questions?
I would like a
Go ahead.
copy of the slide presentation. It's hard to see it from this distance to get more information. I mean, it
think
should
we're
have
gonna
been
have
part
to.
of our package. I'm not sure why it wasn't, but
Wasn't given to me.
No, I just passed it today. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
it would be good to have that so we can look at
Okay.
it. I mean, I
Yeah,
can't speak
I
for
agree.
everybody else, but I can't see that.
can't
Yeah,
see
it's,
it from
it's
here.
hard to see. It's hard to see.
It is.
You may have already provided it, it probably would also be good to, just,
Get a brief summary of the organization itself.
Yes.
make sure we don't have any issue with, board chooses too.
Come on, say it again.
Just a copy of your organization.
Okay.
Tell us a little bit about it, the,
Right.
501c3, or whatever it
Okay.
is.
What
And
it-
then,
501c3 certification.
Yeah, we got it. Okay, I can provide that with you.
and we
Also-
don't need it tonight, but if you can
Okay,
just get it
okay.
to us.
Also, we are state certified with Bright from the Start, so I'll present that information
Sure.
to you too. 'Cause
If you
they-
send everything to Beverly, that
Yes,
way
yes.
we'll
That
make
would
sure it's
help,
part of the
yeah.
record.
Yeah, I will. And again, this is the max amount, so you won't be, and the way that the funds would be asked for is, okay, for instance, if I have 3 students, I'll present you with that information, and then that's why it's no overhead. So that, whatever, that cost of that test, which is, you can check, and I'll send the information to you too. And also with the school board, with the round trip, and also with the, with the food, the beverage, which is $10 or whatever. So that whole amount is not, won't be asked, for that in that year term, if that makes sense, what I'm saying.
That's the maximum.
That's the maximum, yes, sir.
I'm just curious and all, have you been working with a school? My understanding, Mrs. Dawn Woodard is taking the lead on a lot of the programs that the school has gotten funding for. And my understanding was like a lot of the technical school, and additional programs that will be rolling out. And I'm not sure where they are. This was back when the money first started coming out.
With the CARES, correct.
American Recovery or
Yes, ma'am.
whatever. I'd like to know with the school system, if there's anything that could be kind of in line with what your program is, and then how it would be playing to support each other.
Right.
And it would be good that the presentation that you bring to us with your numbers or whatever and all, just run them by Dr. Griffin or Ms. Woodard and just see where they are with what programs they got that's coming into play.
Okay. Back in November, they did a strategic plan, and Commissioner Hines can tell you as I went through the plan. This program is not in there, but a couple of programs I did introduce to Dr. Griffin are, for instance, the ROTC program. That was one of the programs I introduced. Also, the 21st Century program and the L4GA literacy program. Those are the programs that was introduced that's into the school system that he's adopting, and they're put into their budget. But this program hasn't been or will not be.
I don't remember if it was the April or the May meeting, they made a presentation to the IDA board. And I remember there was 3 pots of money and the different programs and how it would actually expand what the school system would be able to offer. But I
Right.
can't tell you any specifics on it because it was so new that they were rolling it out.
Right.
But I would encourage you to get with Ms. Woodard
I'll ask, like I
and
was.
ask that question and all, and then make sure that it's not something that we would be duplicating.
It's not, because again, I was part of that meeting to put those programs together when they had that. So in other words, I did my research, and it's not no other program that's in that.
Mr. Chair, I do want to bring to attention, with the American Rescue Plan, the school boards did receive a sizable amount of money. I'm not sure exactly how much Meriwether County, but part of that for the Board of Education is lost learning. There's an aspect that covers that. That may not have been what they knew of prior to the American Rescue Plan being passed in March. So just like Commissioner Plant is saying, also look and see what their lost learning program consists of and how the American Rescue Plan identify that. But that is one big component under Department of Education. So once again, I do think you've presented some good information.
Right.
but I think it'd be require some more detail, and also, once again, let's see what the school board is currently have in place. I understand you did go to that training they had a year ago, but
Right.
they might have made or implemented some new programs because their funding source has changed as well.
Okay, more details like what? What more details would
lost
you like to
my-
see? No, what more details with this would you like to see? So I
Well,
can,
once again, they've already stated your information about your organization. And for me personally, I just like a paper copy of it.
I got you.
I can't see that form.
I got you. I follow you. Okay.
Right?
Exactly.
Hard to see. Yeah, I had just one question, Michael. You mentioned the grade point average there of 3.0, or is on that first sheet. Is that a qualifier for the program?
Yes, for this.
So you
yes,
have to
sir.
have at least
You
a
have to have
3.0.
3.0.
Now, to take a college exam, do you actually have to have a grade point average of anything to go take the exam?
No,
Oh, okay.
no.
All right. But the program here is 3.0.
Right. So that it rules out, everybody rushing to try to get. But in order to enter college, you have to have a certain GPA.
Right.
I mean, yeah, if that makes
I
sense.
understand.
What's the
Thank you.
first, I don't know, or grade or age where you can take either the ACT or SAT?
You can be 2, 3, 5-year-old to take the ACT.
5-year-old,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's all I'm saying. I got it from them kids.
Okay.
Yeah, they were 9.
But every time they take it,
They got
you
better.
can't discard that, though. Don't you average it together?
You can discard it, but it depends on what ones. Like if you have a math that you had a 450 on,
Yeah.
and the last time you didn't pass the English, you can just take the English the next time
Gotcha.
to make the grades go together to be qualified. Yes, sir.
It's been a long time since.
It's been a long. I have kids, so I had to keep up on it. Any more questions? Sorry.
I have none.
Thank you very much.
Yes, sir.
You can provide that stuff.
There will.
We'll review it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next item under unfinished business is consideration of change order limit 2021.
Chair Commissioners, at your June 22nd meeting, the board had tabled the proposed change order to 2021 bid contract. The contract included a 1.1 mile section of Mount Carmel Road at cost of $16,133.
After we took a look at that road again, determined that it really needs a greater level of repair. If we go in and just do the work that was planned on it, you're going to have the same thing happen again. It's going to crack and just come back up. So we're going to have to look at that, reschedule that project, and determine some additional funding to do the full depth reclamation. We talked with Commissioner Hines on that. It was determined that the improvements to the subdivision roads off of Beulah Evans would be maybe the best use of the funding. And staff had presented a couple of scenarios, one that would closely match the available funding, and the other option would require allocation of additional funding. And Commissioner Hines, in talking with her, and she's here, of course, she can speak for herself. She feels like that the best project there would be to include Turkey Trail Court and Bobcat Trail. That project's going to require full depth reclamation, and the estimated cost would be about $185,150. It's about $68,000 above the previously approved amount. And the request, of course, is for approval of the change order to delete Mount Carmel Road and add Turkey Trail Court and Bobcat Trail with additional SPOS funding of approximately $68,000. And we have historically, as all of you know, we've historically put in a little bit more than our required 30%. So that was presented at your June 22nd meeting, and you guys had asked if we table it till tonight, so we're bringing it back for discussion and consideration.
Maybe we'll talk.
I've already said enough about this. The thing in that discussion was, where would the additional funding come? And Bill was supposed to look into that
Yep.
and give us some idea. I think that was what the chairman wanted to know. How would that affect our current budget and our SPLOST and since we're not using T-SPLOST for any of this, so it really tells what Bill has to share with us.
Well, as you know, been to the workshop, we have a block of dollars over the 6-year life, 2020 SPLOST for the vehicles. In addition, on top of that, that includes some extra money each each year to raise that up so the county doing more in that program. Since this is just the first year of the program, over the life of the 6 years, I think we can probably fit that in there. In the program. Maybe, 1 year may have to decrease the total package 20,000 or 30,000 to make up that additional money that you're needing now.
But if the sales tax grows, we probably won't have that problem, yeah. And,
Well,
Collections continue as they are, as I'll point out, when we look at the SPOS and T-SPOS distributions. That
so basically you're saying the funds are there. We can do something this year? Is that what you're saying? Okay. Because my main concern, if we don't, and it's pushed out, it's gonna cost us even more. So just like Mount Carmel Road, we thought we could do it at a certain price, but because we've weighed out a little, it's gonna cost us more. So unlike, like everything, the factor of inflation and everything, so,
To answer your question, yes, ma'am, we have the flexibility.
I like that way. I like
what
the way
we'll need to do is, in subsequent years, when we do the big, we need to take a look at the balance of the roads in that
Exactly.
subdivision. And, include them in the limiting program too.
That'll be fine.
Okay. Any other commissioners? All right, hearing none, do I have a motion to accept the changes as presented?
So move.
Have a motion? I'll second it. All in favor? Motion carries.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next item under new business, discuss RFP, RFQ for courthouse roof repair replacement.
Chairman Commissioners, we, of course, the courthouse is it's not unique to Meriwether County, but it is every courthouse ever seen a constant, issue with maintenance, and the roofing is always one of those things. And courthouse here, we have, I think, 3 different types of roofing. Bill, you're more familiar with this than I am, but I know we have the dome, and then we have looks like almost a standard seam metal roof after that, and then I think we have a flat membrane roof. And of course, right. And then there's some downspouts, I think, that were diverted years ago. And,
Too, so there's really.
yeah, there was, yeah. So what we need to really do is determine what it's gonna take to do the roof. And, it's hard to put out specs on because, you don't really know till you get up there and take a look at it. So we thought our options might very well be that we could, number one, either, try to, just get contracts and requests for proposals from various roofing companies, or we could maybe work with the contractor who's already working with our fire stations with us as like a program manager, and let them take a look at it, see what they think it's gonna take, and then, seek roofing bids from there. So we'll do it either way the board would like for us to, but it's one of those things that, we won't be able to write specs. It'll have to be a proposal, and everybody's proposal will be one. But we really do need to move forward with trying to, secure that building and, secure to the elements. And so we would recommend that you guys allow us to move forward with an P process and see what we can find.
Lester and I talked earlier, and we need to, whatever we do, we need to make sure it's done the first time, because that's a difficult area to get to.
It is. What I'm hearing, there's about 3 different roofs. You've got what's on the dome, you got standing seam up there, and then you've got some of that built up poured in place.
It's, I asked the maintenance gentleman this morning, Lee, if it was an old like tar and gravel type roof or a membrane. He said it had been replaced with a membrane.
So it's a TPO.
Okay, so there is a membrane there.
What he told me. But he says you guys water should come that deep, standing on top of it. When it
It doesn't get off the roof?
It takes it a while, long time to go.
It almost has to evaporate because
Yeah.
the gutters, I call it scupper drain gutters, they plugged that up because they were interior gutters that went through the building, and over the years they started leaking, so they just concrete the top of them. So the water just sits up there.
It sounds like that ought to be the first order, but it's just get that water out there.
I don't know why they did, sleeve the pipe and, sleeve it or something, it wouldn't be, but I don't know. It's
You're
just,
talking about water that deep, you're talking about a lot of weight.
yeah, you sure are. You sure are. So that's why we want to go ahead and try to secure that. We got some other work we want to do there, but we don't want to move forward with that work and then have to deal with the leaks here at the work.
That's all my questions I have.
So excuse me, making sure I'm right for the record, looking for the roof and the gutters?
Yes.
Well, we just put roof and drainage system.
That's all part of it.
Mr. Chair, I would like to make a recommendation. We have several roofing companies in the county. I would just like to make a proposal that we get a roofing company, at least get them to look at it and tell us what needs to be done. We may also need someone with some type of engineering background as well, because with those three types of roofing system there, it's going to have to be some real in-depth, because just visually looking at it, I would suggest that we get someone who's really an expert on this. So I think getting a roofing company versus contracting a principal to do it, maybe we can identify someone locally that could do it.
I think since I hit 50, I'm mellowing out. You and I are agreeing on more and more.
Lightning hits twice.
It's gonna take somebody that's real expert,
It is.
Expertise, it really is.
dealing with height, dealing with different.
Well, first of all, just being able to get up there, you're gonna have to have a crane or something just to get up there to see exactly what's.
Yeah, I think we do need to have somebody look at it.
So that's the first RFP we're looking at, is just get somebody here to look at it.
What I would
Engineer.
Yeah, we could do that, or we could go ahead and just say, hey, we need to take proposals on this and invite some, companies to come and tell us what they think they can do or should do. And then we can kind of evaluate it from there and bring it back.
We've had
That's no
two
problem.
or three
You wanna do it
different
that way.
local companies up there looking at it.
Already? Okay.
They've done a few repairs in the past, too. But it's not unique here. It's.
I guess listening to Commissioner McCoy, just knowing that that much water is settling up there right now, that's kind of scary for me. And I'm not an engineer. That's why you go get the experts, but we would not want that to have even more major damage. And with the amount of rain we've been having lately.
That much water will actually force a leak.
Yeah.
It's gonna come out.
Anyone else? Hearing none, do I have a motion to allow Mr. Gay to seek out, and Mr. Bill Gregory to seek out engineer or professional roofing companies to give us ideas of what it will take prior to doing an RFP?
So moved.
Have a motion, do I have a second?
Second.
Motion and second, all in favor? Motion carries. All right. Item number 2 under new business, addition of 30.1.7 to the Meriwether County Personnel Policy and Procedure Book.
Commissioner, this is really just establishing time when, if we have a holiday weekend and we're off on Monday, it puts the real pressure on Bill and his staff and Skip as well to get all of these in. And so we really want to make sure that all of our staff and department heads know when this needs to be in. If we're open that Monday, then 10 o'clock is not a problem. But if we're not open that day, we really need to have that at the opening of business. And so this is just a change to our policy that will establish 8:30 a.m. of the Tuesday following the holiday as a deadline to get the payroll in.
Okay. Anyone have any questions? All right. Hearing none, do I have a motion to accept the addition of the 30.1.7 to the Meriwether County Personnel Policy and Procedure Book?
So moved.
Have a motion, do I have a second?
Second.
Motion and second, all in favor? Motion carries. Item number 3 under new business, Ms. Johnsey Reeves, request and petition to pave Leroy Robinson Road. Ms. Johnsey? Hello?
Good to see you all.
You too. As my daddy would say, good to be seen.
name is Dorothy P. Reeves. I reside at 740 Leroy Robinson Road in Louisville, Georgia, 30250. This evening I come to address the board and petition them to pave Leroy Robinson Road. I have with me a petition that has been signed by the majority of the landowners on Leroy Robinson Road. The two that are missing are the Sibley sisters. I tried contacting them, and I've not gotten a response from them. And another guy that owns approximately maybe 2 acres of land, that's on, go in Leroy Robinson Road. The Sibley land is on the left-hand side. Joining that little piece would be the right guy who owns that other property, 2 acres. Everybody else there has signed the petition, and they are in agreement with having the road paved. As a matter of fact, I talked with the guy that owns the timber, bought that land from the lady that really negated all our attempts to have it paved 32 years ago. So he's in agreement, the signatures are there. I'm presenting it to the county for your consideration to have it paved. Leroy Robinson Road is inhabited by people who have lived on that road all of their lives. They were born there, so they've been raised there. So that's what we want, is have it paved. And I wanted that part of the record. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Johnson.
Did you have a copy of this criteria here too?
I did.
Okay.
And that would be my, if I come back, there are some questions about that criteria. It makes no sense. There are 2 things on there, 75 road trips per day, makes no sense.
Okay.
10 houses per 500 feet, make no sense.
It's one
Leroy
house.
Robinson Road is 0.8 of a mile long. We have 6 inhabited houses there. We have 21 licensed vehicles on that road, so that's it.
Okay.
Thank you, Ms. Johnson.
We'll check out the criteria. and report back to the board.
All right,
I will give you those, Beverly, so what you gave me, then I'll get.
got it. All right. Item number 4 under new business, Ms. Marcel Womack, road conditions of Beulah Evans Road.
Hey, y'all.
Hello.
I know y'all tired of seeing me, but it is what it is. Okay, let me get started here, because otherwise I get like real nervous, and y'all already know that.
That's all right.
All right, I'm gonna start off by saying I'll be reading from my notes, and when I'm done, I'll be presenting a small slideshow to showcase a few of our road conditions pertaining to Beulah Evans. I figured since not all of you could come to Beulah Evans, that I'd bring Beulah Evans to you. The last time I spoke at a commissioner meeting, Mr. Gay asked me to get the Meriwether County Dirt Road paving petition signed. I started working on that petition the very next day, and in doing so, I attained over 100 signatures of our current drivers and landowners. The Beulah Evans community has over 76 residences as opposed to the 60 on Mount Pilgrim Road in District 2. The average household has 2 or more drivers, and in one instance, they have 7. In one day's time, with the average driver leaving and returning 2 times a day, the amount of road trips down Beulah Evans Road could exceed 304. That's at the minimum of 1 person per household. At 76 residents, if you count 2 per household, that would be 608 trips, far exceeding the 75 vehicle trip per day needed to qualify. In attaining the aforementioned signatures, I was able to get to know the residents of our community on a more personal level and hear each of their stories and complaints pertaining to our road conditions. There is not one individual who did not say that they have either almost been hit, actually hit or have landed in a ditch because of the deplorable conditions we have to navigate each and every day. What's even more concerning is listening to the stories from our public service and transportation drivers, including but not limited to U.S. postal workers, UPS, FedEx, Amazon Prime, and school bus drivers. The safety of our county children is at the forefront of this. The conditions of our county school buses that travel this road are subpar, to say the least. The screws have literally been shaken out of the tops. Air ride driver seats have collapsed after hitting potholes on Turkey Court Trail, rendering the bus driver unable to work due to his back injury. The dashboards are cracked and falling apart. Unnecessary mechanical issues due to mud clogging of the buses. There are days that the bus drivers cannot navigate the road and have to call the parents to come pick up their children instead of dropping them off at their designated stop, which in this case is almost always at their residence. This poses a problem considering it is a requirement that the students are dropped off or they're picked up. Weather cannot change a pickup or drop-off location. With new bus drivers that are not used to navigating Beulah Evans in certain conditions, it is our concern that the potential for more accidents is at a much higher level. If someone hits a bus in just the right manner and it turns on its side and the top comes off because the screws won't stay in, we could have 20 children sprawled out on the road. The amount of liability the county could possibly be held accountable for is excessive. The maintenance flaws on Beulah Evans is unreasonably dangerous for everyone in the county. I realize the county is not responsible for the rain that causes a lot of the road conditions, but the county is responsible for maintaining the roads. If you average, say, 4 truckloads of gravel at the minimum of 4 times per year at $500 for the last 22 years, approximately $44,000 has literally gone into the ditches after about maybe 4 or 5 days. And then, of course, the water has nowhere to go except back over the road. The county can no longer afford to not pay Beulah Evans. And I'm speaking on behalf of all of our community members when I humbly ask you to make our road a priority. I also have a written statement from one of our bus drivers that I can read off really quick. As a CDL driver that has to drive down Beulah Evans Road 4 times a day in a school bus, there needs to be something done. I've had other vehicles almost hit me due to meeting in curves and the very narrow spots of the road. The potholes shaped the bus so bad over time it has cracked the dash on the bus. Screws have come out and loose from the rough ride. Anytime work is done on the road, it lasts maybe 1 or 2 days and the road is right back to being very unsafe to travel. There's been people hurt due to their seats collapsing with air seats. The amount of traffic that travels the road, there's no reason not to spend the money to fix it properly. The road goes weeks, even months without any of the work done. And when you call it in, all you get told is it's next on the list. When it rains, all you can do is hope to not meet another vehicle. Because the sides of the road are so soft and muddy, water rushes across the road in many spots and creates washouts across the whole road. The hill coming down towards Bobcat Trail stays so dangerous due to the narrowness of that part. Trying to keep a school bus out of the ditch and not hit the vehicle coming at you is a big challenge. To not care that the buses we put our children on are being messed up due to the road conditions, Beulah Evans needs to be paved and made safe to travel. Caleb Miller. Okay, sorry about that, y'all. If we can start the slideshow real quick. Like I said, I wanted to bring Beulah Evans to you. Can you go back to the first one? Okay. And the second. Our main goal is to ensure the safety of the residents that we have to navigate the road each and every day. Okay, as far as the easements goes, from the beginning of Beulah Evans to the end of the pavement, the county already has those easements because it was already paved one time before. However, when getting those signatures, I did ask them again, and they all, signed it. Okay. Now, if you go from the end of the pavement 500 feet past the last house, which is 400 Beulah Evans, that's going to be 1.25 miles to pave. Road conditions, significant drop-offs, improperly banked curves, unrepaired potholes, poor drainage resulting in standing water, no road shoulder, very narrow, improperly painted lines, overly faded lines, no reflective markers. All of these render this road unreasonably dangerous. This right here is the beginning of Beulah Evans off of Luthersville Highway. Next one, please. Here you can see taking a right onto Beulah Evans off of Luthersville Road can be dangerous, especially at night when you turn in and you can easily end up in the opposite ditch. Next one, please. The steep embankment leaving Beulah Evans onto Luthersville right there, you go to take a left, you got a blind spot. Been hit almost several times from there. Next one, please. Oh, and here's our barely visible striping. As you can see, this road at one time was a 2-lane road because of the lack of maintenance. It is basically nearer to the point of it becoming a 1-lane. Next, please. This is a point in the road that you can clearly see has a large blind spot. And because there is no stripping, people ride right down the middle. I've almost been hit several times in that blind spot as well. Next, please. There you go. Before the rain and after, the storm drain is back and water covers the eroded area of the road, making travel extremely hazardous. If you don't live on this road right here, and you have someone coming by you and you don't know that that is already washed out, you're going to end up in that ditch. Next, more again, where it's consistently being washed out. Next, please. And there's arrows just so you can see it more clearly. Next one, please.
That is the paved section, right?
No, that is the dirt. Okay, and this right here is one of my personal favorites. This right here happened on November the 25th, 2020 at approximately 6:15 p.m. This is at the end of Bobcat and Beulah Evans. This person didn't live here. They did know the road. You can clearly see it's raining, mud. That right there could have been a fatality. And because we know and have known that these roads are like this, that's not good at all when it comes to that. Next one, please. All right, same ditch. This is during the day. So, that thing was totally flipped over. Thank God it wasn't a fatality, but it could have been children in it. Next, please. And this right here was on June the 12th. Our Amazon driver with a blowout and a rim, she was trying to make her last delivery for the night, going down the road. 1 minute, I talked to her personally as well. 1 minute she said there was a road, next minute, no road. She just went straight off into it. Next, please. There's our nice slide marks, and this right here happens weekly, with or without rain. Mostly with the rain, and of course we can't, do anything about that. But what we can do something about is the roads. Next, please. Okay, I'm 5'4". you can see where my head is at the top of that stop sign. I mean, that clearly doesn't meet code. In rural areas, the post is supposed to be at around 5 feet, and then from there, the top of the sign above that. In urban areas, it's 7 feet. Next, please. Okay, our storm drains. In this instance, we have 3 major ones down there. They're at 18 feet. Right now, the road is around 20. So that means they need to be at least 24 feet, because when it rains, it keeps washing it out because the storm drains are too short. Next, please. Okay. It just making it narrower and narrower. Next one. And that's it. Oh, and here are the potholes after the repairs were made this last time. And that was on a good day. That wasn't on a heavy rain day. So if you get a heavy rain day, it's even worse. That right there is Turkey Trail Court. And last but not least, the safety of our community is now in your hands. And as you can see, Beulah Evans meets all of the criteria that the county requires. Thank you.
Thank you. Any commissioners have?
1 second. I would like for, here are the easements, the signatures of the 100 people. I would like to have that put in the minutes. Here's a copy of the statement from one of our bus drivers. Like that also to be submitted. And here's a copy of what I originally.
Do we have a copy of the slides also? All that needs to become minutes. We can get.
Okay, absolutely.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Mr. Chair.
Yes, ma'am.
Would like to thank Ms. Womack and Ms. Phillips for their presentation regarding their roads condition. We talk about roads a lot on this board, and Beulah Evans has been discussed. I've been on this board 7 years, so it goes all the way back to 2016, 2017. I think we had some people to go out and look at it. So once again, appreciate your due diligence. I also appreciate that the board took the initiative to come up with priority and procedures so that citizens will know exactly what it'll take. That's consistency for the county as the board, and we'll applaud the citizens who take the time to take those procedures and follow them because we've implemented them. So I applaud you both for presenting that back to us and following what we've asked as a board to be considered when you want to consider going from a dirt road to a paved road. But as she has stated, and most of us have stated, the important thing is safety. And knowing that some of our roads conditions may not provide the best quality of safety, we need to really address it. And so once again, I thank you, and I thank the board for, as I stated earlier, just putting things in place, having the consistency and the transparency so that the citizens will know what it takes to present their concerns to this board. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Any other commissioners? All right. Thank you very much. All right. Next item is report from the finance director.
Mr. Chair, board, we've got y'all reading still remains pretty strong at this time of year. Notice our equipment, 911 capital, we're going to 30,000. We'll transfer that to the fund if we need to do that. No comments on that. The next report is the monthly SPLOST report that I give you guys. You look at the very bottom, June 21st, collection was 128,000, which is up 8,000 over previous months. Excited about that. Our average over the 13 months is 116,000. 90,000, so we're going over 20,000 going up. Also, and if you just look at the first 6 months of this year, our average is 120. So that's good. We have leverage to do other things than what we originally planned to do. 2022 SPLOST is also a similar situation as well. We budgeted 92,000, our average collections are about almost 101,000. So not as much as SPLOST because SPLOST excludes some of the things that we're able to do on SPLOST. So we're still running 10,000 a month over what we budgeted. Hopefully that will improve as things go along. And that's all I have unless you have any questions.
Thank you. Any commissioners have any questions? Hearing none, we'll move to the next item, report from the county administrator.
Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, on the dirt road applications tonight is the first time we've received any of the petitions. What we'll do is we'll follow the procedure, the criteria you guys have set out. We'll check and make sure that it meets the criteria. And we'll check that. We'll move forward with trying to develop the deeds from there, and we'll bring that back to the board for your consideration. Okay. I worked with election office. I met with them a couple times about space and condition of the building. Met with a couple of industrial prospects. Met with one of the mayors of one of our small towns about building permitting and code. Attended some of the budget meetings. Bill's been doing most of those and done a good job with it, but I've dropped in a time or two on that. We had the work session, which we prepared for with the AR federal funding. And just to mention, I think Ms. Rosen noted the other day, the parking has now been completed in downtown. We had worked up that contract some time ago, but the guy was waiting for the rain and the weather and everything, and so he came in on Sunday and did all of it at one time. There probably are a couple of directional arrows that we'll take a look at, because I know the mayor told me that somebody coming from LaGrange was trying to turn left. So we'll try to get those arrows out and get those done, and we'll go from there. And other than that, just day to day things we'll be working on.
All right.
So what hoping the rain.
Is there an update on our resurfacing program? Where are we?
They're coming in to get it going. We met with them, and our the subcontractor is going to do the surface treatment. He is committed to do that for us. So we'll have that going. They too are battling the rain like everybody else.
Will it be as early as August?
Yes, sir. They'll be here way before then.
Mr. Chair?
Yes, ma'am.
Just to go to Karen. So EPS is the new company that they have contracted to come in and finish the previous contractor's job.
That's right. There's some outstanding projects that did not get done the previous year's LMIG. And of course, we got this year's LMIG on top of that. So they've committed to do both of those. We've not paid for any work on the road you and I looked at.
All right.
So this company's going to come in and correct that.
So the 3 roads that should have been done that didn't get done is Primrose, Timber Ridge, and is it Tom?
Yeah.
I'm not.
Tom Brown.
It's another road.
It's another road. So there's 3 roads altogether, because I was under the impression it was Primrose, but it's actually 3 roads that never got completed in that cycle. Okay. And then on top of the roads that we do have are upcoming. Okay.
Right. And EPS is a big company. They're a good company. We had a conference call with them because we just wanted to hear from them that they were indeed committed to us and the projects that we have, and they are. But they, like everybody, are struggling. And when they come in, they're going to finish up that old contract, and then they're going to move towards the new contract.
So they're going to finish the old contract first before they start on the contract we just awarded,
Right.
Piedmont Paving.
Right.
Okay.
Any other commissioners? All right. Anything else, Mr. Gay?
That's it.
Thank you very much. Next item is report from county commissioners. Commissioner Hines.
Just want to remind everyone of the walkathon this coming Saturday here in Greenville. Former Commissioner Gray and the Recreation Advisory Board has worked very hard to put this together, and I think it would be quite successful. I think that's it. That's it for me.
Okay. Commissioner Plant,
I don't have anything.
Commissioner McCoy.
Other than folks, just be patient. We're still trying to get to those roads.
All right, and I don't have anything either, so next is report from County Attorney.
I understand that we do have a need for executive session for litigation personnel and real estate tonight, so other than that, though, I have nothing.
Okay. Thank you. Next item is public comment. Was there anyone who wanted to speak? Come on up.
You finally get to hear from me.
Yes. Well, I heard from you earlier.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, don't ask me to work for y'all. Mr. Gay, you've heard from me a lot.
Could you just say your name?
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Deborah Strozier. Public Works talks to me a good bit. And let me also say, those two women in that office, they deserve a raise. I don't know how they manage day by day. I really don't. Because I'm sure they get chewed out regularly. Marcel did a wonderful job. I have to say that her pictures doesn't give our problem justice, though. Like this little mud hole, or okay, well, a mud hole. I have stood in them, and it was years ago, but I stood in those holes, and almost knee deep. It's bad especially. I would love to have a new truck. I want a new truck so bad, but I'm not driving down that road in a new truck. I've already destroyed two. I'm not, and I don't drive fast on that road. There was one curve that she was talking about where the Amazon truck went off. Well, I had a brand new camper. I was pulling that camper, going somewhere that weekend. It was on Friday morning. It had rained Thursday night. Okay? I'm coming around that curve, and I am doing my best to stay on what is my side of the road, okay? I met a man, and in that curve, I'm not a truck driver, and it's a 26-foot camper at that time. And I was afraid to back it up. And I asked him, I said, could you please back up and let me get through? I mean, he could have backed up 5 foot. He refused, okay? He just refused. He was a jackass.
That's okay.
He was bad. Okay. Finally, I called the cops. I said, I don't know what to do. Before they got there, he decided he was going to go. And he hit my wheel well, the whatever you call it, fender-like thing that goes around the wheel. Busted it. Brand new camper. Just because he wouldn't back up 5 feet. But there was nowhere for me to go. See what I'm saying? I didn't want to back it up on a muddy road because it's slick. We have difficulties. And I have talked to Mr. Is it Terrell Johnson? Okay. Talked to him over the years. I know that he was badly hurt in an accident or something, or I don't know if he's even still working there, but I did talk to him at some point, about how they grade the road. There are the same holes in that road that have been there since 2002, okay? You cannot put loose dirt and rock in a hole and expect it to stay there when, like she said, there's 600 trips going around here every day. It just don't work that way. It's you can get a toy truck and get out there in your yard and figure that out. It doesn't take rocket science. I don't know why they don't listen. The last time it was graded, it was like grade, stop. Grade, stop. It was just hit and miss. I did not understand the logic to that. Still don't. I have followed these public works trucks and watched them. I don't know. I don't know what to say to that. But
I'm just here to reiterate what Marcel said. She did a great job. She did a lot of work, and we appreciate her. And I hope y'all do too.
Thank you very much. Anyone else? She left. All right, so next item is executive session. We do have need for litigation personnel and real estate, but I'll announce the future meetings and notices. August the 11th, 2021, our regular meeting at 9 a.m. August 24th, 2021, regular meeting at 6 p.m. Do I have a motion to go into executive session for the purpose of litigation personnel and real estate? Have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor? We are in executive session at 7:10. Do I have a motion to go back into regular session?
So moved.
Have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor? We're back in regular session at 7:34. There was action taken in executive session. We accept the resignation that was tendered by Brad Vaughn on 7/14/2021. Motion was made by Rosa Plant, seconded by Buster McCoy. All in favor. Is there anything else to come before the board?
Let me make one announcement I forgot to. Down at the river this Saturday at 10:30, Darlene McDaniel is going to have a little ceremony down there, kind of dedication, opening ceremony. So I got that out.
Okay. Any other business? Hearing none, do I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Have a motion, do I have a second?
Second.
Motion and a second, all in favor? Motion carries, we're adjourned.